And grandma actually was one of the people that kind of hit me upside the head and said, well, of course the women were the ones calling out to you. That's the goddess. What were you doing? What were you thinking? Of course.
Right?
She's trying to bring you, like, okay, you had this adventure. Great. Now it's time to come home.
Hello, welcome to this wonderful Cauldron Collab with Anna Hoffman from Shadow Wick Creations. It's going to be an amazing chat here. I am currently in the background in the fuzzy background because my studio is a mess, as every working studio should be. I do have one of the candles burning. I can't even remember what it was for. I got to learn to save the slips, but is I do have a shadow with candle burning. I'm so happy to have you here joining us for this wonderful conversation with this amazing, amazing magical creator. So, magical maker, magical creator, magical artist, all of the above is what Anna is. So,
Oh, my heart.
yeah, you're so sweet. Okay. So, I have known Anna for many moons, many years, probably or around the time I started. Now, before I started the goddess paintings, right around then,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a year before that. So around
Mm-hmm.
2015 is when we first met through a coven I was running with my ex. And Anna came and played with us for a while. So we've known each other a very long time.
Yes.
And during that early time when I was discovering my craft with the goddess, where were you on your candle making journey? When did you start initially? Because I know you learned from your grandma, didn't you?
Yes. My grandma taught me when I was much younger. And then I took that and I worked with it. And then I had kind of taken a different path in my life. I um, moved up to Duluth, I became a second baptized, like a Uber Bible banger type thing. Like I went into this whole Christian journey, but
Okay.
then oddly enough,
Well, okay.
all of the yeah, and all of those stories that I was reading and really like, no, this must be my path, were all about women in the Bible and all about these female archetypes that were in these stories. And I'm like, I had left up north, came back to my home, and grandma actually was one of the people that kind of hit me upside the head and said, well, of course the women were the ones calling out to you. That's the goddess. What were you doing? What were you thinking? Of course.
Eight.
She's trying to bring you, like, okay, you had this adventure. Great. Now it's time to come home.
Mm,
And so that was back in like 2007. So around, I think 2009 or so, I started working on candles again.
okay.
So when we met, it was a few years, but I was still very much kind of I think I remember this way. I was trying to do it on my own because I very stubborn and I knew I could do this. And
As you have
yeah,
to
so
be
it's,
when you're a crafter, and it's not just like, oh, I'm just gonna craft because this is fun and then do it for a season and then let it go. You
yeah,
are
yeah. And
like this candle magic matron now. So how did the art form evolve for you? How much did
uh,
your grandmother teach you, and what did you add into it to make it your own?
so my grandmother would make candles that would have she would scribe onto them like an arrow, and that would mean certain things in her way. And sometimes she would engrave a heart on it. Um, she would put cinnamon in to kind of give the sigil a little bit more power, a little more oomph.
Okay.
But her candles had herbs and stuff all throughout the candle.
Oh, wow.
Every time I tried to do that, it would end up in a fire on my
Oh,
kitchen table. Like it would never work quite right.
wow.
So I took her way of doing things and the things I could never figure out how she did what she did,
Mhm.
um, and adjusted it to, okay, I'll make the pillar. And then um, my sigil crafting got far more involved than hers ever did, because she, in her words, I don't need to make it all so pretty. I just need to remember what it's for. I'm like, that's fine. I
Right.
like making it pretty.
And she just made them for herself or for family or
Yes, she only made it for herself. That was
okay.
it was very personal for her. So she was very happy that I didn't do exactly what she did, because she was like, wait, hold up. That's my thing, honey.
Right.
But since I couldn't get the herbs into the candle, that's where I get the, once the pillar's made and engraved,
Mhm.
I'll take the herbs and sprinkle them on the top ring and
Mhm.
then drip more wax over there to encase them so they hopefully don't light up.
Right.
Scribing on the bottom,
Right.
on that's something that came about a few years even after you and I had met. I started doing that because the apartment I was living in was like, hey, you can't burn candles. I'm like, okay, that's an issue.
Oh
That's
my
a huge
word.
issue for me.
That
So
would be a huge issue. Oh my God.
so so I started engraving whether a light or dark this candle will connect to, and as much as I could, so that I could still work with the energies even though I couldn't light the candles. And at that time, this was still very much a just me thing. I wasn't making these for other people. It was just for my practice.
Well, yeah. And but I think it was right around 2016. You made a candle for me. Were
Yeah,
you were making them as gifts for people? Is that right?
yeah,
Okay.
yep. A few people that I'm like, oh, I can make this as a gift, and they wouldn't think I was weird. So that, that's what I did.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think you're weird. I think you're absolutely fabulous. And I love the candles that you have. And I just want to take a quick note. If you watch this far and you want to know more, we want you to join our community here. So click like and subscribe and click that bell notification. That way we know that you're part of our circle, the Harmony Goddess Circle. And definitely Anna has been, we've literally circled together many, many times under the moon and the stars and the trees. I still, I always have at least one shadow wick candle in my possession that I can burn at any given time. I've got one pillar that I'm burning right now and a couple of votives as well, which you also do the drip with. I was like,
Yes.
oh my goodness. And they're so beautiful and they burn so long. That's the thing. It's like, oh my gosh, I I am a long time candle lover. I don't know if you know this, but like my second job, my first, other than just one brief weird little summer stint at a car dealership as the night receptionist answering a few phones and taking messages. I worked at a Wicks and Sticks in it was it at Ridgedale, which is the
Oh,
mall,
cool.
Wayzata, Minnetonka area, Minnetonka, I think it is.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's where I learned all about candles. And I walked around with a notepad and she taught me all about the candles. And I was like 18 at the time, 17, 18. I don't know, 18, I think, 18 or 19, writing all the things down, learning all about candles. And I fell madly in love with the different scented candles. So candles became a very big part of my life at that time. And I was a Christian at that time. I was a fundamentalist. I was a born again at that time. And so it's funny that we both did this journey, but I remember when I was very young and we had a fireplace, I would sit and stare into the fire. I don't know what I saw there, but I would sit and stare into the fire. I would trance out. And I don't know if I saw anything, if I got any messages, it just comforted me. Now that I'm learning astrology, I'm looking at my chart and I have no planets in under any of the fire signs.
Oh,
Nothing,
wow. Okay.
nothing. And I'm like, how can I have nothing under any of the fire signs? That is so bizarre, but no wonder I need to incorporate candles into my life. I love candles and I love candle magic. I never really got into doing the scribing myself other than using candles as a method for a gazing point for meditation. And
Absolutely.
the candles and get me a good campfire any day. Get me that pagan cologne because that's my happy place. Give me that
Yes.
fire. And so, it's essential for me, probably because it is wide open. So then I can use fire however I need to use fire. I'm not, you know, there isn't a plan.
Right.
It,
Right.
it's my choose your own adventure magic.
Oh,
And
I love that.
being a
That's
very much, you know, three planets in Gemini kind of girl, Sun, Moon, and Mars, and a lot of stuff in Cancer and Taurus as well. So I'm sort of all hunched over on that side, and then there's this smattering elsewhere, but nothing in Leo, nothing anywhere else. Like what? So when it comes to your fire energy, do you come by it do you know, have you looked at your chart? Do you have anything
oh yeah.
fire signs?
I haven't gone I haven't gone too far in depth.
Okay.
But I know my sun sign is Sagittarius.
Okay, there you go.
My rising is Sagittarius.
Okay.
Um, I can't remember. I think I've got a quadruple Sagittarius. I can't remember what the other two Sagittariuses are, but I've got four of them. And then my moon sign is Gemini, so it's that fueling
Nice.
of the
Oh,
fire,
yeah,
so to
no, that's
speak. So
perfect. That's perfect because Gemini and Sagittarius are opposites. And so literally, if your moon is in Gemini, you're reflecting the sun of Sagittarius.
yeah.
What a beautiful balance. My boyfriend is a Sagittarius. And I guess there's my fire. There's my adventure. Oh, goodness.
There you go.
Yeah. So I do
I
apologize.
love it.
For those of you who are watching, we're doing this on Zoom, and I live out in the middle of nowhere in a Victorian house with kind of sketchy internet out here. I'm not going to lie. It is what it is when you live out in the country, but I am in a hermit phase of my life. I am needing a lot of solitude to do my work, and I come out every once in a while. So as we're recording this, here we are coming up on that witchy season, and we're going to be posting this in the first part of October, where we're going to be getting together and showing off your stuff in my group and on my page and sharing your stuff on my email list. So when did you actually start selling your stuff, and how did you make that transition from this is my personal passion that I do for myself and friends to I think that maybe it's time to share this with a wider group of people. I want to make even more candles.
I had a really close friend of mine who kept trying to push me to just try. So the day after they had passed, I was sitting at my kitchen table and a friend had come over and I said, okay. Um, and they had said, so how are you doing? What's going on? And I'm like, I'm gonna do my candles. I'm gonna put it out on Etsy. I'm gonna just start doing this and start making this and see what happens. And it's gonna be kind of in their honor. Like this is what I want to push myself because they were always big on they would see the potential in people and push you to do that.
Right.
And so was my grandmother was the same energy. My grandfather was the same energy. These guides that I still have were always that. So that really was the inspiration and the push I needed. I mean, she was instrumental. Her passing, sadly, I wanted to make it into something for me at least that
Absolutely
would carry on, would keep my connection with them.
absolutely. So that's a really lovely and beautiful story. So you went on to Etsy and everybody loved your stuff and you sold out all the time, right?
Oh yeah, all the time. No,
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 no.
no,
Oh my
no.
God.
It's oh no, it's Etsy. Oddly, I really think my candles are some that you need to kind of feel and you need to be in the presence of. Online, they wouldn't. I would end up getting custom orders, but the ones I
Okay.
would have out very rarely did much.
Hmm.
Um, Now, granted, that was also early on. I that was when I first went on to Etsy. It was a little slow, but yeah, it did pick up. Things got better, but I think it in person is really where I feel like they
Yeah.
take off. And I love it's really great when you can create something and have someone see it, even if it's online and go, that's what I want. And you just know it's made a connection to them. So those sales have always been amazing.
Absolutely. When and then now you're actually in a bunch of local stores stocking those. And I worked at one of those stores, so I know how quickly they sold out compared to other product lines that we had. They tended to be gone in, a month or two.
Yeah.
Was slow and then
Yeah.
down to just like this or that and not a whole display anymore. And yeah, so that's got to keep you kind of busy keeping those
Oh,
stores
yes.
stocked. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I
Mhm.
absolutely love it. I've got some stores will have store exclusives, so it's great. I can create something
Yep.
for that store that people can only find there. But I also am so appreciative of the stores that I'm in because they're like, we want protection candles, but they give me the leeway to create
Mhm.
a variety of protection candles. So someone can come to the store and find something and it's still very much a custom piece for them, really. Like it's something that was made and there's not another one like it. Even if I do an exclusive, it's not going to be exactly the same as the next because they're all handmade. So
Yeah. Yeah. So do you keep a book of all your sigils and designs that you do? Or
I've actually I've I started to and then I would lose the book. So then I just have spiral notebooks like crazy. But this year I really decided, okay, I'm going to start crafting by the month. So
okay,
every month I've got a special book I bought. I write down the correspondences and all the witchy juju for that month. And
perfect.
then all the sigils I create in that month will be there. And then I move on to the next. So it's kind of like a grimoire of my sigils.
Oh my
And
gosh. Oh,
that's been
that's
so amazing to create.
amazing. That's amazing.
It's
I'm oh, I I gotta come over sometime. See your space and see your grimoires and go through them and oh, what a wonderful thing to have. Um, yeah, the same goes, with when I'm doing my artwork, it's like I don't put it's not in a notebook. I'm doing an initial sketch, but I pull the paper out of I don't keep it in the notebook. That's not how I work. And
Hmm.
so I save those sketches, and I keep them just in like a little flip file-y thing, just
Oh, awesome.
initial sketches. Um, they tend to be pretty rough, and some of them are very simplistic. There are a couple when I first started, I did keep them in my little book because my first ones were just little 5x7. So I do have those in little 5x7 sketchbook that I have. But once I got to the 11x14s, I don't keep that as a sketchbook. I just pull the pages and put them in one of those little folios with plastic. But
Okay.
yeah, so now so you do the pillar candles and you do the votive candles, and where do you see you've got this, you started this monthly thing just so you can keep doing this work. So this is the magic that you do for yourself and for community on a constant basis, it sounds like.
It, it's really helped me in my own personal practice as well because I had a period where it became so much about, okay, it's got shadow wick, shadow wick, shadow wick, that it was feeling like I wasn't really putting my practice into it. And I think that's really always been the foundation of shadow wick, has been, this is based off of a practice. This was taught
Right.
to me as a practice. Like that's a thing. And so with the adding of the sigil grimoire, it's gotten me back into, every month has its rhythm, every month has its magic that it needs to be worked, and it reminds me of what, oh, I'm feeling really inspired by nature. And like I think it was May, I was out in nature drawing all these sigils, and it had to be tied to this. It's like, oh, I wonder why, I wonder what's going on. So it makes me kind of also go
Mm-hmm.
into my own personal practice, and um it's definitely putting that energy out for community, but it's also beautifully reflected back and makes me like slow down to understand what I need to do in my own path as well.
Yeah.
So it's been amazing. It's been such a funny thing, just one little book, and it can kind of put everything back into the
Mhm.
perspective that you're needing.
Right. Yeah. No, I think that can be, you never know where inspiration is going to strike. You never know what's going to touch your heartstring, and paying attention to those things and making note of them and acting on them. Because as much as I love circling with others, everybody has their own perspective. You literally are the center of your own universe because you're seeing the universe from here, not from the person next to you. We can
Right.
share our experiences like this and share all this, and we can find those touchstones where we meet up, where can I learn, what inspires me. And your sigil work is just amazing, and I absolutely adore you. And I think we're getting towards the end of this little interview here. So I'm going to do a quick little break because I do want to pull out my tarot cards and give you a little mini reading. I'm using the Shadowscapes Tarot for the Shadow Wick creator
I
to
love that set.
this little mini reading to move you forward, and just hopefully a little inspiration for you and a little inspiration for anybody else coming in who wants to, tap into the magic of the Harmony Goddess Circle, because it's all about everybody being in this together. We're all in this on this planet together. We're all in this world together. And if you're watching this, then you're here with us, and you've stuck through the test of time here. So here we go. I'm just making a mess of things. So I'm going to cut this into 3 little piles here, and you get to choose left, right, or center.
Center.
Center. Okay. And that's how I help people connect with energy when I'm doing a tarot reading virtually like this. And this is basically how I do my tarot readings is via
Awesome. I love
you
that.
know, it's how I can communicate with others and serve community. So the first card, I'm gonna have to put my glasses back on so I can see these cards better. So 3 card reading, you know, the recent past, what's happening in your present, what the future may bring. Okay. Knight of Pentacles. See?
Oh, yes.
Oh. So beautiful, beautiful artwork by Stephanie Law, or Stephanie Law, as she goes by now. So we have in this deck, the pentacles are represented by dragons. And
Oh, cool.
which, you know, he's riding a dragon. So Knight of Pentacles is generally something where you're taking methodical steps, and that makes sense as we come into the fall season, you know, after you know, the crazy days of summer. It's a good time to take charge of yourself and take charge of your time and really open up your spirit to taking those more gentle, well thought out, well planned out things. Like you said, you've got the books going, you've got that, you've got a sort of created a plan for yourself as you move forward. And that doesn't mean it's any less magical. It just means that it's very intentional. And
Yes.
and in between your plan is where the magic can jump in and surprise you and
I love that
bring
thought.
things to light. For your present, okay. We do have the 10 of Swords. You've got way, way, way too much going on when it comes to overwhelm. You've got it's just too much mentally, and it's broken you down. And you've come to the last, you've hit your last straw with that 10 of Swords.
Okay.
So the last straw, and it's time to open up for a new chapter after a little bit of rest, because you got to let go of that, girl. You just got to let go of all the decisions. You know, life is what it is, and it throws things at you. But I know there's going to be something better. At least that's in your present. That means we're moving to something better.
All
And
right.
how we started with the Knight of Pentacles, and now we have the King of Pentacles.
Oh, okay.
And there he is in the tree with the dragon wrapping around the roots. Beautiful, beautiful King of Pentacles, embodying what it means to be the master of your physical realm. So yeah, you with the methodical plan of the Knight of Pentacles, that honestly is what helps get you through that 10 of Swords. And having that plan, no matter what other crazy is going on, your magic, your fire magic. And you know, as we move into fall and into winter, we're coming into your month. You know, your Sagittarius, it's still a little ways away, but as we move into that, and we're moving into candle season as well, where, the sun's going down earlier, we're lighting those candles, and there's so much strength and rootedness with the King of Pentacles. And he's very much, I see him, whereas the Emperor is the builder, the King of Pentacles really is wonderful for establishing strong roots in nature and growth in a more natural rhythm. It's not
Okay.
outside in, it's the inside out is where that strength is coming from. It's not power over, it's from power from within. It's strength from within. And pentacles are everything you can touch in your life, your body, your home, your kitchen table, your candles that you make, your crafting tools. Think of that King of Pentacles and really getting that deep root in there in the future, and it will expand and grow into a solid oak for you. I'm going to take off my green tinted glasses because that was the thing that happened. So I'm very excited for you and your future and everything that in the coming months. As I know we're both really excited about the Samhain Symposium. We were
Yes.
talking about that earlier today, coming at the end of October. That's going to be held at the Crown Plaza in Plymouth. So get your tickets for that, people.
Yes.
Be doing a presentation, not a presentation, but I'll be on a panel with a few of my friends. But you're going to be vending there because this is all about you. You're gonna be vending there, and people can come and buy your candles there at the Samhain Symposium. And where
Yes, absolutely.
it maybe people want to stock up before then, but you've already designed the Samhain Symposium
Yes.
candle. Did I
Yes,
see that
the
online?
event exclusive is going to be all about communing with the ancestors. So it's the
Mhm.
sigil. It just always starts. I always, whenever I draw my sigils, I start with the center point, like where the energy is going to come from, how the energy is going to be built. And it seriously built like a spider web. It started
Oh,
with the skull for the ancestors. That's the focus. That's where your focus is going to be when you're burning this candle or connecting to it. And then it literally grew into a web that surrounded the crossroads. And it was a wonderful, I had my candles lit here, and it was very much an intuitive pull. It wasn't something that I researched, because sometimes I'm a nerd. I love research. Sometimes I research, but I'm so excited about that candle. I can't wait to make it. I'm not sure when the right time is to make it, but I've got the sigil created for it. I've got my blueprint with the wax, the scent, all that jazz. I'm so jazzed to see how
yeah,
it actually comes
yeah.
out.
And you'll make it when it's the right time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I will be seeing you there. I will be doing on Sunday afternoon, I'm doing a panel discussion about ancestors, old ones, guardians, guides, with Lily, Lily of the Light, who is putting on this wonderful symposium. And then Kari Touring, who
Oh, wow.
does Nordic pathworking, and Danielle Headington as well.
Awesome.
So we're going to be, the Fab Four, uh, talking
That'll be a
all
great
about
panel.
ancestors and all those good things. So I'm super excited for that. And yeah, as you have made your plan, I've been making my plan on week by week what I'm going to be doing leading up to that, because there's so much going on for that.
Yes.
So where can people find you online to follow and see what you're working on next?
Online, we're on Facebook and Instagram.
Mhm.
Shadow Wick Creations. It's
Okay.
pretty simple. Right now, I am in the middle of looking up possible websites to get my own website up and
Right.
running.
Yeah. And
So,
yeah, between now and then, we'll get, hopefully get that sorted out, and I will add the links down below in the description for everything Shadowwick, so people can find you, find your candles, and you know, getting that list of stores that your stuff is in posted somewhere, whether it's on your own website, so people can buy it in person. But yeah, I'm super excited for this season. I'm super excited to see all that pentacle action. And yet that silly little 10 of swords in there to say, hey,
it makes total sense. It
okay,
makes complete sense. Like, oh, yeah, yeah, I get that.
yeah, yeah, 10 of swords is not a comfortable card at all.
No.
So, but this too shall pass. This is just a phase.
Yes.
And so I'm so glad that you're joining me for this. And, people are wondering, well, if it's a collab, are you doing art together? Well, no, not really. It's just my chance to share my favorite artists with everyone and bring them into the group. And we're going to have all sorts of events going on. So check in the description for the Harmony Goddess Circle. That's where I hang out on Facebook. And we'll have all the details there. And there'll also be a link to sign up for what we got going on for the collab.
Yes.
A special email list just for the collab that I create for all these collaborations. And we will be in touch with all the fun and wonderful things that we're going to be doing throughout the whole week, because this is like a week-long show off Shadowwick in the group and on my page and on my regular email list will be alerted to things as well. So thank you so much for joining me, Anna. And I'm so, we're 140 miles apart, so we don't get to hang out like when I lived in Minneapolis. But I will
Yeah,
be seeing
oh,
you
I was just gonna
in a
say, I'm really
couple
grateful
months.
to, I'm really
By
excited
the
for this
time
as
this
well and
airs, it'll
grateful.
be a couple weeks. So
Yeah.
yeah. So thank you so much, and thank everyone for watching. Remember, like, click, subscribe, ring that bell so you get alerted to when I'm going to be doing my next things on my channel. And this is my way of reaching out to community from the middle of the Southwest Minnesota farmland. So blessed be, namaste, and all that jazz to everyone from me and Anna. And do put some notes in the comments with what you would like to see next. If you have a favorite crafter that you want me to feature, I want to know about it, because I know who I know, but I don't know who you know. And I want the Harmony Goddess Circle to grow and grow and grow with different crafters that I will feature pretty much on a seasonal basis. So